Williams boss drives Nigel Mansell's car. Max Verstappen arrives in Montreal at risk of receiving a race suspension. Lance Stroll is confirmed by Aston Martin and will race his home Grand Prix in Canada. Formula One announces the 2026 calendar and warns we won't have that mega launch event. Did anyone mind? A shake-up at the FIA? Ben Sulayem manages to approve statutes that change the rules in the middle of the game, and some say make it harder for opposition candidates to emerge. Thursday, June 12, 2025. Today is Valentine's Day. Have you already congratulated your spouse or your wife? It's the lead up to the Canadian Grand Prix on a special weekend, and there's also the 24 hours of Le Mans. So before you head out to eat, pun intended or not, sit down so we can talk about everything.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind.
James Vowles, the boss of Williams, took a spin in the legendary FW14B, the Williams from another planet that gave Nigel Mansell the championship in 1992. The car, designed by Adrian Newey and under the technical direction of Patrick Head, is not just any car, as you probably know. And having James Vowles behind the wheel creates a symbolic connection between the past, present, and future of the team, which had an episode last week talking about its rebirth. It's worth checking out. And I built it out of Lego yesterday. There's a video running on Shorts and Reels. I'll show it to you in a moment and also talk about this month's giveaways. Taking the car out is related to its participation in the Goodwood Festival in England. It's a dream, I promise. I hope to go there one day. And we've grabbed some images from the team's Instagram to show you here. Anyone who doesn't like the FW14B can't be a good person. Max Verstappen arrives in Montreal with 11 points on his license out of the 12 that the FIA sets as the limit before penalty is given, which in this case is a one-race ban. The rule came about back in 2012 when Romain Grosjean received a one-race ban, but based on criteria that weren't objective. So this point system was introduced for driver's licenses, the super license, which accumulates points according to the severity of infractions and is enforced by the stewards. The situation became critical for Verstappen, who had 8 points after picking up 3 more at the Spanish Grand Prix 2 weeks ago, when he, believe it or not, some people said he didn't deliberately crash into George Russell while giving a position back.
It was unintentional. It was unintentional.
And since the stewards don't read the comments section and simply apply the penalty they deem appropriate, Verstappen picked up 3 more and now has 11 out of a maximum of 12. This means that until the Austrian Grand Prix on July 30th, he'll be right at that limit, just like having 2 yellow cards before getting suspended in football until the points he got 12 months ago start to expire, just like with a driver's license. As time goes on, the older points drop off. Will this change the way Max Verstappen drives? I bet it won't. And honestly, I think it's a good thing. Let me tell you something. Yesterday, the new batch of Happy gifts arrived for us to give away to our subscribers. Nigel Mansell's FW14B. I put it together and made a time-lapse video for you guys, those sped-up images. Check it out. Nigel Mansell's car is just beautiful. By the way, where's the miniature Mansell? Do you want to see it? Let me get it for you. There's a little Nigel Mansell, complete with helmet and mustache, and I put that one together. But there were also 3 minifigures that were a hit with you all last month, an Alpine, a Sauber, and a Williams. These gifts are provided by our newest partner, Rehab, which has Legos, miniatures, and Hot Wheels. I'm going to get some Formula One Hot Wheels for you guys. It's pretty hard to find them. And for you to check out what they have over there, there's a link in the description below and pinned in the first comment as well. And these gifts are raffled off to our subscribers during the last live stream of the month. Every month during the season, by the way, I need to do a giveaway, and I'm going to send out the Williams, which is already assembled. Sorry, I'm not going to take it apart. It's a lot of work to put together, let alone take apart. And the Red Bull, which also came last month, I assembled it to make a time-lapse, that sped up video to show you guys. I'll leave it here because whenever I get a new partner, I negotiate with them to get gifts to raffle off to those who support us. There are 4 tiers to become a channel member. Jenny Haas, Paddock Pass, Stefano Domenicali, and Lance Stroll. Each one has a value. The higher the tier, the better the prizes, right? As a bonus, you can watch the videos in Premiere, have priority response in live streams, and the Paddock Plan. You get even more benefits. You also get access to our WhatsApp group, which is exclusive for subscribers, and you can check out our exclusive content. I'm going to post the full version of this not so fast time lapse for everyone to watch over there because there are all kinds of people out there. It's our way of giving back for your support, providing more benefits, and of course, encouraging you to come here and support our work. The week before last, when I announced the partnership, we had 690 something members. Now we have 820, but we're still missing you. Hurry up and join because you need to be part of the biggest and best Formula One audience in Brazil right here in our community. All right, so that's it. The join button, in other words, become a member. The link is also down below in the description. Become a member of Splash Go. Let's keep going. Lance Stroll is confirmed for the Canadian Grand Prix, at least for now, because of course, he could get in the car tomorrow, Friday, and feel pain. You never know. But the fact is that Felipe Drugovich and Stoffel Vandoorne, Aston Martin's two reserve drivers, are over on the other side of the Atlantic in Le Mans. Drugovich is driving a Cadillac hypercar and Vandoorne, one from Peugeot. That means I suspect that given the tiny chance that Stroll isn't fit, Drugovich and Vandoorne prefer to focus on something that's certain racing the 24-hour sun if something happens to Stroll. I would bet on Valtteri Bottas taking over the green car. Oh, but that's unfair. But look, there are contracts, there are sponsors, and so on. With Drugovich and Vandoorne, Cadillac and Peugeot over there at Le Mans are no pushovers. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see. But for now, Stroll will be in the car, he'll do all the sessions, and we'll see how he does. The last time he drove in Bahrain, all banged up, he put the car in 6th place. Not bad for someone who was driving with his wrist still messed up. Formula One announced its calendar for the year 2026 this week. And there are a few things we could already notice, like Imola out, Madrid in the first race, once again in Australia on March 8th, 3 consecutive races in Asia with China on the 15th and Japan on the 29th, skipping 1 weekend, and the calendar stretches all the way into December. With the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix taking place on the 6th of the 12th, Sao Paulo will be the 4th race back to front, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Las Vegas. And then the race here at Interlagos on November 8th. As for the most significant change that caught attention, they moved Monaco from a date that coincided with the Indianapolis 500, pushed it 1 week forward, and placed the Canadian Grand Prix there, which will be on May 24th. It's not exactly back-to-back on the calendar, but 2 weeks after the race in Miami. Not 2 races, but 2 weekends. And a lot of people are already asking, why did they leave 2 weekends open for races that are close together? I suspect that Liberty is preparing another race in the United States, possibly in Chicago. And they're already managing the dates to leave that gap in the middle. We'll have to wait and see, because the name Chicago Grand Prix has already been registered by FON. And in the same week, Formula One announced that it would not repeat the mega launch event it held this year at the O2 Arena in London, bringing together the 10 teams and 20 drivers for what was basically a livery showcase, because the cars on display were not the ones already headed to preseason testing. Next year, we'll have completely new cars, with all the focus 100% on making those contraptions work. So much so that the first test session won't even be open, so none of the teams are really interested in wasting time, money, attention, and so on. At an event that, in fact, nobody really enjoyed this year. A shake-up at the FIA, the president of the International Automobile Federation, Mohammed Ben Sulayem. Ben Sulayem is said to have maneuvered to change the federation statutes, introducing new rules that would make it harder for opposition candidates to emerge. Mr. 𝘾𝙤𝙥𝙮𝙯 doesn't want to play by the rules, as the saying goes. The changes include restrictions on who can run for president, and increasing presidential powers, and changes to the composition of the World Council. Coincidence or not, right, Mr.? 𝘾𝙤𝙥 said he will seek re-election in December. The Austrian Automobile Association released a statement today calling it a democratic setback and saying that the implementation of these rules would usher in a dark period for the federation. The accusations against Sulayem are serious, ranging from imposing fines of 50 euros to silence those who attend meetings, at a timing considered at the very least suspicious, because we are in the period most favorable for the emergence of new candidacies. They even mentioned the name of Susie Wolff, wife of the all-powerful, the Mercedes boss Toto Wolff, and of Carlos Sainz Sr. Sulayem, argues that the changes are meant to strengthen the FIA. But critics aren't buying this version. Tomorrow there will already be cars on the track. Here are the schedules that I posted on our social media, Instagram and Twitter. And are you part of our notification channels on Telegram, Instagram and WhatsApp? You've also already received it there too. 30 in the afternoon. The first session is at 6 p.m. The second one, remember, it's in Canada. They're behind our time zone, which is why these sessions are later. On Saturday at 1:30 p.m. there's free practice 3 and at 5 p.m. qualifying. And on Sunday at 3 p.m. the Canadian Grand Prix. But 15 minutes earlier at 2:45 p.m. we start our parallel broadcast on the Outro Canal project. You tune in their band, phone, TV, band. Play wherever you usually watch. Turn down the volume and listen to us here. With me on commentary, Mates Ornelas on play-by-play and Julian Serrazoli reporting straight from the front lines, bringing us insights. And I hope to see all of you here then for our parallel broadcast. When the race is over at 6 p.m., I'll be back on air for our post-race live stream, commenting on all the news about everything that happened on and off the track, reading your super chats, sharing our usual laughs. And then the following week, we'll do a giveaway for everyone with some prizes. While you're waiting for everything that's going to happen this weekend, you can take the opportunity to watch the history of the 24 hours of Le Mans. I told this story last year during race week, which is also happening this weekend. On Tuesday, there's a very special video about 33 or 35 minutes long, something like that, talking about pit stop strategies from the basics at the beginning all the way to the most complex parts. Everything you need to know to understand how the decision-making process for pit stops works within the teams. On Wednesday, also known as yesterday, there's a story of the driver who was run over by the medical car in 1995. And that wasn't his first incident that year. These videos are part of the 880 pieces of content we produce each year. I think this year we're going to hit that target. And they bring in 3.5 million views per month, every month. Whose fault is that? Yours. So you don't miss out on anything. We have notification channels, Telegram, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Which one will you join? And you start getting an automatic message as soon as I publish each piece of content. Leave a like, it's free. Do me this favor, do us this favor. Because in the end, things only work if it's a two-way street. I'm here straining my voice, recording the video, and you watch, interact, leave a like, leave a comment, tell me which one you want to win. Tell me. If you've already won, tell me where you're watching from. Tell me who's going to win the 24 hours of Le Mans or the Canadian Grand Prix, whatever you want. The algorithm just needs a comment. It can even be a little emoji. Deal. Last but not least, we have our social media, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and TikTok, where there's content all the time. And the link is also down here in the description. So we'll see each other here throughout another Formula One weekend. That's it. We'll see each other here in the next videos. Big hug.